namaste and a very warm welcome to all of you to the Blub World Web Talks 216th episode. In the last 215 episodes, more than 3,000 school leaders have participated on this very platform where they've shared their ideas, opinions, innovations and what all new are they doing in the education space. तो नमस्कार, आप सभी का स्वागत है ब्लब वर्ल्ड वेब टॉक्स के 216वें एपिसोड में। पिछले 215 एपिसोड्स में करीबन 3,000 से ज्यादा शिक्षाविदों ने इसी प्लेटफॉर्म पर आकर अपने आइडियाज, अपने इनोवेशन, वो शिक्षा में जो कुछ नया कर रहे हैं वो हमारे साथ साझा किया। सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर द स्पीकर्स फॉर टुडे फॉर जॉइनिंग अस टुडे। बिफोर वी स्टार्ट द सेशन, जस्ट सम ग्राउंड रूल्स। फर्स्ट, think of the Blub World Web Talks as a speaking sprint. It's not a speaking marathon. So once your speaking time is over, you might get muted. If you get muted, please don't get offended. It's just to keep the activity crisp and entertaining for everyone. So while you're talking, and if you see my hand up in the air like this means that you have the final 30 seconds to conclude. So once you see my hand, start concluding your talk, and then after that, you might get muted. Secondly, this is a bilingual platform, so you can use English or Hindi, any of these two languages. कोशिश करें अंग्रेजी और हिंदी का इस्तेमाल करें, किसी तीसरी भाषा का इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो समझ नहीं आएगी. And I hope you enjoy the next 60 minutes with us on a very interesting topic that we have for today. That is ChatGPT, the new teacher. जब AI आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस बहुत ज्यादा एवोल्यूट हो जाती है और वो गूगल को भी ट्रम्प करके आपको ऐसे आंसर्स देने लगती है जो बहुत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है, आपके क्वेश्चन के सीधे सीधे जवाब हैं, इसमें इधर उधर का कुछ नहीं है, कोई एडवर्टाइजिंग नहीं है. तो व्हाट डज द चैट बॉट डू टू एजुकेशन? हमारे क्लास में जो शिक्षक है उसकी सबसे बड़ी जिम्मेदारी होती है बच्चों के सवालों के जवाब देना, क्योंकि बच्चा जब छोटा होता है उसके पास बहुत सारे सवाल होते हैं. अब उन सवालों को दबाते जाते हैं, उनके जवाब नहीं देते हैं, एंड फिर उसे किताब पकड़ा देते हैं कि इसको पढ़ लीजिए, आपका काम हो जाएगा. But the problem is, right now, education and technology is taking different kind of a perception change. And that is because technology wants to personalize, wants to assist. Thank you so much everyone for joining us. Let's start the session on, is ChatGPT the new teacher? So let me invite the first speaker for today to start the session. A very warm welcome to Mr. Manesh Patil, the professor and registrar for Avantika University from Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh. Manesh ji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Daksh. Very good afternoon to all, and thank you for having me here for the discussion on this. Is the ChatGPT the new teacher? So, according to me, it cannot replace the teachers. However, the role of teacher has been changed, and now teacher has to play the role of mentor and co-learners. The students have become more smarter and they have all the information available with them. But the selection of right information is very important. The ChatGPT will give you the answers to all your questions, but whether the questions are correct or appropriate, someone need to validate that. So I guess teacher is going to play the important role in that. Again, it is not a new thing. It is a only tool. Already such tools were there, and it is the advanced version of that tools, and a teacher has to make the appropriate use of these tools to make the teaching more happening and more engaging. Now this is the era of technology, and which is drastically changing, and we should accept the change. So teacher also need to be smarter and need to cope up with the changes happening in the world. Now, teacher need to be a co-learner. In our university, we never call us as a teacher. We call us as a co-learners, because all the information is available with the students, and we are learning, and we are learning by doing. So there are few areas, few concepts or few skills that can never be taught by merely using a digital tool. So in the real world, there are certain skills like critical thinking, creativity, people management, emotional management, then emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, then service orientation, negotiation, cognitive flexibility. These technology need to work on this thing. Still, these issues are not addressed, where teacher and mentor can play a important role. Again, we know that the or memory or brain remembers things in various steps, by reading, by watching, by remembering, by practicing, by doing. And it is proven fact that the things are remembered more when we do that, when we practice that. This concept cannot be addressed by a technological tool. Experiential learning, project-based learning, then problem-based learning, activity-based learning, blended learning, social learning, these components cannot be addressed. So it is not likely that teacher is going to be replaced by some technology. Yes, the role of teacher definitely is going to be changed.
Thank you so much, Manesh ji. I think a very important observation कि चैट जीपीटी आपके सवालों के जवाब तो दे देगा, बट क्या उन सवाल सही हैं या नहीं, ये कौन जज करेगा? Who will be the one who will be curating those questions? That are you asking the right questions? That would be a major backbone of teaching when we go ahead. Curation becomes important than the content. Wisdom becomes important. Education becomes important. Literacy से ज़्यादा शिक्षा महत्वपूर्ण हो जाएगी. So let me thank you so much, sir. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Dr. Nidhi Sirohi, the principal for GD Goenka Global School from Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Nidhi ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Very good evening to all present here. And I'm sure with the kind of experience that we all come from, this is a very pertinent topic for today. And not only about the topic that we are discussing, I think it's overall we're talking about technology. So this particular issue has been a topic of discussion at various forums about technology itself, right? Whether it is going to replace teachers, especially during the lockdown, when classes moved from offline to online classes, something that nobody had even dreamt of, and of course, I would compliment all schools and teachers and educators, how quickly they took to the new change of technology. But could it actually replace the teacher? It couldn't. Teaching is not only about the children doing what's there in the so-called syllabus. I won't talk about curriculum, because curriculum is much more than syllabus. It's beyond textbooks. So if I'm talking from the school perspective, a child, when the child comes to school and when the child leaves the school, the entire development of his personality happens in school. And that is beyond textbooks. It is about the personal touch. It's about learning not only it's about developing your physical abilities, your emotional skills, your social skills, of course, cognitive skills. You're able to identify your strengths, your weaknesses. You're exposed to numerous other activities, which comprise not only about personality development, but also their own likes, their dislikes, and eventually something that they would do for the livelihood as well. So whether it is performing arts, whether it is sports, whether it is visual arts, all of it requires a personal touch. Technology can never be the platform or the interface for such things. So if we talk about a certain software that it can dictate, and that can prompt you to write answer, that can prompt you to write whatever, will eventually I think will damage the brain if I have to think of it. Because I'll give you a very relevant example. When we were children, there were no mobile phones and nowhere to store data except to write phone numbers in our diaries. And because one did not want to take out or pull out the diary from wherever it was, we remembered all phone numbers. So often I think our parents would ask us for the phone numbers of their friends and relatives because we would remember them by memory. Again, I keep giving this example even to my children and my staff. We reached wherever we had to, a destination, or Google Maps, and I don't think we ever knocked at the wrong door. We reached the right place, we reached the right city, and especially, even in new cities, we were able to find our way through and the right roads and whatever. But today it becomes very difficult. You sit in a cab, the driver first logs on to Google Maps. So if you're going to talk about technology, they can enhance, they can help, they can make life simpler, but they cannot replace human beings. They can never, ever replace. And we must remember, all technological products were made by human mind. They did not come. So nature is always powerful. What the creator has created will always be supreme. Man can create whatever.
Thank you so much, Nidhi ma'am. Yes, you're very right when you say that most of the technology, or rather all of the technology on the face of this earth is created by humans, and we don't want to replace them. But I think a new perspective should also be added to the discussion that can technology really replace the people who answer your questions? Because Google, to quite an extent, really changed that a lot. Now we don't go to our elders to ask questions, we go to Google. So he has actually become the elder of the family. And when somebody like a ChatGPT comes in, the problem is that elder could also be carrying biases, because it's something that gives you an automated response based out of artificial intelligence. We do need to understand what are the different facets of it that haven't been explored. Thank you so much, Nidhi ma'am. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Mrs. Rozy Yaseen, the principal for Radiant Public School from Anantnag, Jammu and Kashmir. Rozy ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself, and a very warm welcome.
Good evening to all. Thank you for having me here. Actually, ChatGPT is an app, but teacher is mentor. So ChatGPT definitely can't replace the teacher, but we need to adapt the things gradually. We need to think the need of the hour. It's an app, definitely. Before this also, we had Wikipedia, YouTube, or different software. But they also didn't able to replace the teacher. And now ChatGPT is another one, and it will also not able to change your teacher or replace the teacher. Definitely, teacher is a mentor, and he or she has to conduct the class and see. If we see that present situation now, 100% percentage also students are getting, then also they have to face the competition. They have to think about their admission or career. So at our time when we were students, that time 80% were enough. We had also search of different reference book, although that time there wasn't any mobile or any technological support. But that time also we had to search for library or different reference book. And before that also our grandparents, we can talk about them, that they didn't have such facilities, but they didn't have such competition to face. And present situation, you just see the students, those who are in different fields, they have to face different competition. And the students are from different areas, different states or different countries they are coming from, and they all are well equipped. So that we need to educate our students with the system. Whatever changes are there, we have to talk to our students, that we have to teach them the way that, yeah, these are the helping hand, and you need to take help from them, but you can't copy. And if we think that students are coming with this from app or with this support system, we have to also be smarter than them, because we can have our plagiarism test to check whether the answers are from any app or they have written on their own. So such type of system for we people, for teachers also are there. So now the situation depends that how students are coming with preparation. If students are coming prepared for the class, teachers are also getting help. Interaction are becoming easy for teachers, and they are ready for the answers. So that is okay. But students, whether they are copying the things directly or they are doing something on their own, that need to be checked. See, presently, if we think that students are only coming with cheating or copying, then creativity would be over. But not that. Presently, we can see how much students are creative. So that we know that students are also aware. If they copy, they will be caught. So they will not copy. They will learn something, and we need to. More importantly, we need to educate our teachers and students that these are the support system. These are not the thing that you can copy. You have to learn something. If we see in the classroom, teachers clear all the concepts and they check the creativity of the students. So it is just, I can say that it is helping hand. You can take the support from it, but students should not copy directly, and check should be there from teacher's side. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much, Rozy ma'am. I think your major part of the speech typically relied on plagiarism, and one unique thing about ChatGPT typically as a tool is that whatever content it generates is absolutely unique as per all plagiarism checkers. So people, what are doing, they're doing right now is they're writing SEO compliant articles with it. They're doing nearly everything with it, and that content is unique in itself. So this is a challenge that it poses, that most of the plagiarism checkers that you have, that if somebody has copied it from somewhere, won't work with content generated by something like a ChatGPT. So that's where the challenge is actually arising. Most of our, whatever blocks and checks and balances that we had put in place, most of them will fail in front of an AI bot like ChatGPT. But thank you so much for adding, ma'am. Before I go to the next speaker, there's one very unique thing that I would like to share with all of you. Just day before yesterday, in one of our episodes, we had one of the school principals from Bangalore, I think. And in their school, the teachers are using ChatGPT to create lesson plans. They are creating worksheets from it. And the school is using that since the last time ChatGPT has come into existence. The final version has been out for the last 16, 17 days. And they have created lesson plans on ChatGPT that are unique on their own. And they're loving it. So let's know what our other school leaders think about what would AI chatbots change in education. A very warm welcome to Mrs. Saraswathi Samanthu, the Vice Principal for Ithaka English Medium School from Nellore, Andhra Pradesh. Ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. And the question is really very straightforward. Is ChatGPT a teacher? ChatGPT may reshape the teaching material, but it can never be called a teacher, and it can never replace a human teacher. It can be a best friend, a personal assistant to a teacher. And as a teacher, I definitely look for innovative things for my students because they're going to open into a generation where it is totally with artificial intelligence, all with technology. So getting them used to technology right from the beginning, so the children would not feel tough. After all, who is going to introduce all this to them? Definitely the teacher herself. And of course, whatever it is, the chat box, it is all just a machine. And it is again the teacher who is going to give inputs to this machine. I think now we have become the teachers for this ChatGPT as well, because we are going to give the inputs, though not we directly, some other teacher from somewhere. So definitely we are going to teach now both the machines as well as the students, I strongly believe. And as an English teacher, when I was going through this ChatGPT, I felt where we try to give different types of questions to our students. And when we try to take some comprehensions, we feel so repeated. To make new comprehensions, we would not have time. Whereas once I feed this GPT with a passage of my choice, and I can make up different questions. That's what I have learned about it, but yet to try, sincerely not tried this totally, but got to know about this. And as I said, this is definitely going to be a best friend for the teacher, as it would help. So I don't think the friends would ever think of replacing one another, but always go hand by hand, supporting each other. And the teachers, the human teachers are definitely intellectuals. The way they have moved from books to online during COVID is highly appreciable. Without any coaching, nobody there to tell. Just the school said start and the teachers could take it. So such intellectuals definitely would fly high with such support of what is coming as an innovation. And definitely it is the teachers who needs to introduce children to the new technology as we kept moving on. We have so many videos, as ma'am's already said, that we have YouTube videos and Wikipedia, but still children didn't stop coming to school. They're still coming to school. They're not relying on videos. Even if one single topic is not done in school, children are behind the teachers saying that this is not done. They never say the YouTubes are open for us. We don't need your teaching. Might be after our teaching, to go on with the animated videos, the children would think of looking for that. And now I think children needn't go, because we are going to be supported with this, with animated videos also. So I think we would be the better teachers with this help. So they're not going to be replaced with teachers. They're going to be supportive teachers for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, man. I think a statement that we can carry ahead in the continuous discussion is that ChatGPT could be a friend, and a friend would not replace another friend. I think this would be a good PA or a personal assistant to the teacher, and they could rather help in pedagogy, andragogy, and whichever way we want their technology induction into education. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think some very important points we added to the discussion. Let me invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Dr. Sunita Singh, the principal from Sri Narayana Central School, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Sunita, ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute yourself and a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Daksh, and good afternoon to everyone. Actually, from last few months, this topic has become, this is a burning topic to be discussed. And as ma'am said, Saraswathi ma'am, she said that teachers cannot be replaced, right? They will remain always in demand. So chat, according to me, whatever I know about it till now, that ChatGPT, I feel that is not designed to replace teachers. It can provide information and answer questions, but still it lacks ability to provide the personalized human touch that a teacher can only give. Then additionally, a teacher's role that goes beyond providing information, and that involves developing relationship. That is also a must. Then fostering critical thinking, because suppose something you serve them, but someone should be there to, tell them to take, how to take, and the way. So teachers always should be there to guide them. And only giving information will not work, right? So thinking skill, development of critical thinking skills, for that also teachers' guidance that is required, and providing individualized support that can be, again, replicated by, that cannot be replicated by a machine. ChatGPT would provide a fast, concise, straightforward answer to students that in real time. But one legal problem can again take place, as it is giving precise answer in real time from anywhere without attributing. So that legal problems can take place. This is what I know till now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think you talked about one more aspect of ChatGPT, that the content that it provides, it does not typically own the intellectual property for it. IP, उसके अंदर एक बहुत important challenge होगा कि content कहाँ से आ रहा है, उसकी क्या credibility है, what's the source of it, is a big challenge, because it actually brings together whatever is available on Google and puts it through as a single answer to your question. So I think a very interesting thing that we've understood is that humans are not getting replaced any sooner. The ChatGPTs of the world can stay there, but we need to now understand how can ChatGPT play a role in the current education system. This is something that should be worked upon. The reason why Blub World Web Talks typically talks about this or brings school leaders to talk about this is this very purpose, that how do you put this or make this a part of discussions every day. So now before we conclude the session, some closing thoughts from the special speaker for today. Manesh ji, over to you if you have any closing thoughts for the session today.
Yes, as mentioned by all the speakers, that this technological tool is merely an information providing tool, and the collection of information, what to do with that information, how to use that information, where to use that information, that really need to be mentored. And the personal touch, then the social learning and other the skill that are required, that cannot be addressed with the help of tools. So we need not to worry about this development, because technology is changing very, very drastically and very frequently. So whatever technology we are discussing today, maybe next week it is out of the discussion. So we need not to worry about that. And always it cannot replace human, because humans are developing that. Humans are responsible for the development which are happening. But for these changes and for the development, the skill set that is required, that cannot be taught by the any teaching technology tool.
Absolutely. So teaching technology tools can assist, but they won't be the teacher. But yes, I think the future teacher would be using ChatGPT and most of AI bots a lot. You can do a lot on these platforms, but again, curation is more important. Wisdom becomes more important. When we started Blub World, that was typically the idea behind it, that humans only learn from stories. We look around and try to find out successful people and try to learn or get inspired or motivated from their stories. But when we try to inspire a teenager, the problem is the stories get too old. And that's where we as an institution got started. What we do every month is this. We try to find out teenagers across the world who are doing amazingly well in life and share their stories with many more teens. Because these stories are now relevant for them, they are correlated to them, and they are of their peers. So they get inspired a lot. Around 2 years back, we started an initiative where we are bringing together the most influential teenagers from across the world to become a member of parliament of the world's first parliament of teenagers, the World Teen Parliament, which is a year-long parliament where 100 teenagers get elected from all across the world, and they work on ideas of social improvement. We train them, mentor them, and fund them so that they can scale those ideas up and make the world a better place to live. And you know the best part? In this complete ecosystem, no teenager, no parent, no school, nobody has to pay anything. The only thing that they spend is their vision for the world and their idea for change. So we invite school leaders, teachers, parents, everyone. If you have a teenager around you who can really change the world, invite them to be a part of the World Teen Parliament, because the Teen Parliament will be and is influencing policies across the world. With today's topic, when technology typically tries to intrude with humans, we are trying to make it more collaborative with more humans. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of the Blub World Web Talks. This was the 216th episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, and if you want to attend the future sessions, open your audio and say a big yes. Thank you so much, everyone.